Hello, it's Lucas here. In this short movie I would like to present AstroLink 40 mini device. This is kind of multi-functional device that merges several functionalities, and the idea behind it is to make astroimagers' life easier and make astrophotography faster. So what can we connect to this small box? In the first place we can connect it to focusers. First focuser input is here. This is standard DB1 input compatible with Robofocus and Moonlite and other solutions. So you can, if you have like Moonlite in Robofocus or Pegasus Astro motor, you can connect it directly here. Also you can connect here any unipolar or bipolar stepper motor, and also with additional module you can use this output to control stepper motor with microstepping mode, and this solution increases precision of focusing. Second focuser output is here. This is a 4-pin output, 2 pins you need to connect to one end of the DC motor, another 2 pins to the second pin, and this output is compatible with many DC motofocusers like Skywatcher Motofocus, for example. What else can we connect to this? On this side there are 2 inputs for sensors. First one is to connect DHT sensor that can measure both humidity and temperature of the ambient, and also you can calculate the dew point on these values. And the second one is for temperature sensor DS1820. In the future also you can connect here additional module that can measure sky temperature, so actually you can measure the sky covered with clouds. Next to them there are 2 RCI cinch outputs for the heaters or fans or peltier. These are regulated outputs, and each of these output can handle like 4 amperes of current, so about 40 watts power. And on this AstroLink side there are 3 DC power outputs that you can use to connect any components of your setup, like imaging camera or mount or anything else. Each of this output can handle 5 amperes, so 60 watts of power. Last output is here. This one is regulated voltage output. You can set the voltage here between 3 and 10 volts. So for example you can power with this output your DSLR camera or USB hub, for example. What else can we connect here? Oh yeah, this output can be used to connect hand controller. Hand controller is simple controller with 5 buttons that you can use to move one or another focuser and change their speed. And last socket here is regular USB socket to connect the device to computer, so we can control all these functionalities with dedicated software. And you can see one cable. This is power cable made of flexible and resistant silicon cable, and it is 2 meters long, and it's ended with this DC socket. This one can handle 5 amperes. So if your setup consumes up to 5 ampere power, then you can use this one. But if you need more power, you can replace this one with some other plug that is compatible with your power supplier. AstroLink Mini can be powered with the voltage between 11 and 14 volts. And can distribute up to 10 amperes of power, so all the receivers connected to the AstroLink device can consume 10 amperes maximum. I will connect now the power to the device. There is a buzzer inside the device that beeps at the start, and also it beeps informing you about some events like end of focus remove of other. There is also a red light here on the front panel that is that indicate the power zone. How to attach and where to attach the device to your setup? Well, actually the best probably idea is to attach it to the telescope tube. It's very lightweight and small. You can use Velcro tape, double-sided Velcro tape. Put one piece here and another one on the tube, and then you can attach the device. This way you can eliminate many of the cables from your setup. Another way is to unscrew these legs on this longer side or shorter side and use some aluminium sheet with 2 holes to place it here, and the remaining piece of aluminium you can attach to the dovetail on your tube or in any other place of your setup. Probably there are also some other ways to mount it and to fix it. You can use just your imagination. So this is it, and in the next part I will show you shortly how control panel of AstroLink looks like. In this second part I will briefly show you the AstroLink control panel that can, this is a software that is used to control all the functionalities of AstroLink. I will show it only briefly because on all the detailed information on each section I will present in next parts of this tutorial. So after connecting to the device, you can see that some of the values has been already displayed. The first section is dedicated to focuser. So here we have the position of the focuser in steps and in millimeters. You can move the focuser with fine movement and coarse movement, and also you can move focuser to the absolute position. You can use stop button, of course. Under this icon with the cogwheel there is some settings of the focuser available. These are usual settings: maximum focuser position, speed, acceleration, step size, and this tab is dedicated to the temperature compensation that can be manual or automatic. Also you can trigger the compensation only between exposing subframes, so this is quite useful functionality. Second section is for the DC motor focuser. Here you can move the DC motor for a specified amount of time in milliseconds, and also you can choose the speed of the rotation of the DC motor. And next section is all about sensors. Here you have displayed all the values from the attached sensors. So we have temperature and humidity from DHT sensor, and calculated dewpoint temperature, and the temperature from the second sensor that is also connected to the device. Last window shows the difference, the temperature change beginning from the moment the AstroLink has been turned on or this window has been resetted. Next section is for the regulated outputs. As you remember, we have 2 of them, and here you can select any value between 0 and 100%. Also we can set heat value, which in this setting the output power of the regulated output will be proportional to the humidity, so it can be used to control the heaters, and also auto position when the output will be regulated in a way to keep the set point temperature. Next section is for the power. It's for monitoring the input voltage, the regulated voltage, for the total current that is consumed by the devices connected to AstroLink device, and also it displays consumed energy from the moment the AstroLink device has been switched on. So this last 2 fields are quite useful for monitoring the energy in, for example, when you power your setup in the field from the battery. For the power settings, there are also a few alerts that you can set up, and then they will be triggered once the energy reach some level, or the input voltage drops below some level, or the total current is above some level, etc., etc. And there is another tab, protection, that can actually switch off some of the AstroLink outputs when the total current or voltage reach some edge value. And all these tabs I will discuss in more detail in the next parts. Last section is about switchable outputs. As you can see, to my outputs I have connected the mount and the camera, so once I click on this checkbox, the power will be on this output, and these devices will start to work. What else do we have? We have also here the notepad button, when you can put your notes regarding to some camera settings, filter settings, whatsoever settings. Another thing is charts. I will discuss it more detail later. So here you can monitor all the values, measured values that has been changed during your imaging session. And basically this is almost all. Yeah, there is one more thing. In these many, there is also available compensation calculator. So here you can put the temperature versus focuser position points during session, and then it will automatically calculate compensation coefficient that can be used to temperature compensation of your focuser. Of course, to the AstroLink device there can be quite a lot of software connected in the same time, like for example Maxim. As you can see, for first and second focuser I have chosen the main and the DC focuser of the AstroLink. Now I can connect to them, and as you can see right now focuser is in the position 6430 steps. I will move it now in, and as you can see this value is updated in each software that is connected to the device. Also temperature is displayed here. And I think that's it for this part. I will talk about all these sections and settings later in more details. Thank you for now for watching, and see you soon.